You are correct. This is that kind of video. We're taking a dive, and we're piloting up to the stars to be amongst the cosmos. Stay tuned. Yo, so what we have here is the Kosmos LED set, okay? This is going to be the box set that is essentially going to bring this high-grade Calibarn that I'm fixing to build to life, all right? So now hand in hand, these two, or an aerial rebuild, can actually be, I'd say, the most advanced kit you have ever built. So let's take a look at pretty much the small stuff that comes in here. This is going to be kind of just an unboxing and like a tutorial because I've already translated everything. You're welcome. And so I'm working and I'm about 85% done translating the FM aerial LED set because it's not just the background, like the backpack, it's the entire body. Sorry for my phone. So yeah, I've been working hard on translating that, but let's go ahead and unbox this and see what's inside. Right on. So upon opening it, you are going to see you get some stuff, right? Let me go ahead and explain what some of this stuff is, right? Be very, very careful with this sheet, okay? This sheet, it has like this little slit here for a reason, all right? There's a little red marking that tells you, and then there's a tinier marking over here. All right, be very, very careful with this. Go ahead and just set this aside as we'll talk about that later. But opening up, you get this nice, cool little hard-plated kind of card here. It just kind of like has some information. Truth be told, whenever you pull these up, they actually just bring you to a site called Billy. I hope I'm saying it right. Billy. But pretty much this site is like it's videos on the cosmos overall. And I do want to let you guys know it is super misleading with a lot of the stuff that you get here. So let me go ahead and begin and tell you that this is all from a Chinese manufacturer, okay? What does that mean? It means if you're gonna translate or if you wanna translate the stuff yourself or give it a go, you're gonna wanna try to just use the Google Chinese translator to English or to whatever you're using, my friends. But essentially, yeah, this just kind of brings you to a bunch of other stuff. We'll go ahead and wait on that. I like how it even says the aerial and Calibarn. But in this paper here, right, it's gonna bring you to another QR. They love their QR codes, and I guess they're really loving Billy. But pretty much they have this QR code will bring you to some of their videos. I think it actually specifically just takes you to the FM aerial Cosmos because they don't even have a video on the tutorial of this. So technically, I'm actually the first person to, I think, make a video on this. So this is pretty cool. Down here, you're gonna see this QR code. This is actually gonna take you to more Gundams that have like a body LED structure to it. Like when I scanned this one, I think it brought me to the new Gundam and some of the unicorns and everything. And then same with this one. Now, these two over here, this is the page that's super important, okay? Because you do get a remote control, and I believe this is the remote control. It looks a little bit different from what you actually get, but this is a guide on, you know, what everything is, what the buttons are, but the buttons also have a little bit of English, so you're good there. Now, if you have an Apple phone, or pretty much iOS, you're gonna wanna scan the top code, okay? So just to be, you know, just to be clear, you're gonna wanna scan the top QR code if you have Apple. If you have Android, you're gonna wanna go ahead and download the Android one. And what is that essentially gonna do for you? Well, that's gonna bring up the actual Cosmos application as like a PDF, ATK or AKT file to your phone. And it's totally safe, but definitely run a check, have a safety check on your device. But pretty much what it is it's the internal program to install this app because it doesn't just download from Google, which is weird. So why do you need the app? Well, there's a lot of reasons, okay? There's probably the same amount of things you can do with a control you can do in the app, but maybe a little bit more. Because I actually only found out about maybe a couple of days ago. I've had all this for about 2 weeks. A couple of days ago, I found out that these are reactive too. So if you want to play music or something, they will react to that. So that's just kind of like a pamphlet on the whole 30-minute series itself. And this is just kind of like a video structure and a little bit of the guide for the Gundam. So what you're gonna see right off the back is you usually have to, whenever you order these, you have to pick your set. Like, are you ordering it for the Calibarn? Are you ordering it for the aerial or the aerial rebuild? And why does that matter? Well, I'll tell you in a moment. So what you're gonna see that comes with this is one kind of main, I wanna say a motherboard, right? I'm really not too tech savvy here. This is truly a first for me, and you guys, I was super scared about this. I kind of am, but I've built the hell out of the Calibarn, and I did such a damn good job. And I've been studying the hell out of this, so I really think I've got a good grasp. So this is an extender piece that's essentially going to go from here, the initial board itself, because each one of these little white slots is kind of more of a structural platform that goes within these little gun bit trails that you are going to receive. We're going to talk about those, right? And so what it does is it extends it from the motherboard to where all the bits would extend out to the initial power supply, right? And then you get some screws and you get a little mini screwdriver. Now what this is telling you here is, and I want to be clear, okay? You are going to get these cool little clear, kind of like rubbery plastic bands, and you're going to want to just kind of wipe them down with alcohol, make sure that they're clean, nice and secure. And then actually, this little white paper that we were talking about earlier is going to have the decals. It's going to have these little white data storm bit decal trail effects here. Each one of these little bits has a little hole. You're going to put that hole and extend it essentially to, to the motherboard. And the motherboard actually equips to the backpack piece of the Calibarn and aerial rebuild. The instructions are pretty clear. Now it doesn't really tell you all of that. It just kind of tells you exactly what everything is. It doesn't really even tell you what it's for. So I had to watch the aerial rebuild to understand, because aerial rebuild video by Gundam Style is the literal only known tutorial of this. So I'm taking what I've learned of the backpack already to go ahead and do for the Calibarn. So that's pretty much the end of it. You do get this awesome, sick paper though. Like I just now noticed it kind of extends the logo. That's really fire. Like that's really dope. I think it's cool that they went with the aerial rebuild because it just shows me what it would look like. And I have the aerial rebuild put aside, but yeah, for another day. This was considered a pre-order. So if you pre-ordered from any of the sites that you got your kit from, this would come with it. Hopefully, I'm praying that all of y'all just get one. That would be really dope. So I should have said some of it. No, yeah, I was right. So when you take a look at the remote itself, it does come with a little piece of plastic in there because I'm assuming they gave you a battery, but they're, doing that thing. So it does show, lights on, mode, green, colors, other, speed, do it yourself. And then there's a bunch of other buttons, but there's these 8 blank ones down here, and I'm wondering, they don't have anything on them, so I'm just kind of confused. Like maybe these are custom buttons, and if you go into the app, you can do that. So I've not actually done the app or done anything because I'm just trying to do it the simple way, and then as we kind of go forward and advance, we'll be good. So it does tell you the battery size, tells you exactly how to push it and open it and just kind of release it. There's a lot of stuff that's in English here, so it's not like you're totally without. I'd say it's the instructions that's just like, well, damn, why did that happen? So let's go ahead and talk about these pieces real quick. All right, so here are what's considered your power supply units, okay? Now, first things first, this is the essential power supply. You're not gonna wanna unscrew this because the essential motherboard to power everything is under here, okay? This isn't some kind of backup, so like if you wanna switch them out, because we'll explain this function, don't do that, okay? Go ahead and just leave that be. Unless you're super techie, hey, by all means, do what you wanna do. So, how I believe this works. There is a Type-C USB charger over here, right? And now why would there be a Type-C USB charger? It's so that way you can plug this into a Type-C charger that's probably plugged into your wall. That'll then feed it a power source. So if you just want to have it like on a shelf that happens to conveniently have that, like, trailing down or something, cool. This is essentially going to connect to the backpack, and then it's going to connect to everything else, and all you'd have to do from there is just turn it on and control and do your thing. Now, if you don't want to do that method and you want to do wireless, or if you're a YouTuber or something like that and you're trying to make a content video out of it, obviously it's going to be a pain in the ass to have it wired in and kind of do a display on, over here. So if you've got some AA batteries, which I do, all you have to do is go ahead and throw those bad boys in here, and on the back, right next to that power, the USB port, whoops, all you're gonna do is just kind of plug this into there. Now it has the correct fitting of the holes being closest to the bottom of the ledge, and when you look at this, the holes are to the top. So it's pretty easy to figure out, okay, which way that's gonna have to go in. Now, to the far right, this is a little bit of a power button, right? So with the power button, it's pretty self-explanatory, all right? You just turn it on and you do what you do. So let's talk about everything else that you get. The next, probably biggest important piece is going to be the essential backpack motherboard, in which all these little white slots here are what the next bands are going to connect to. Now, this also comes with your screwdriver, and it comes with all your screws in a nice static-proof bag. I wish the screws weren't in there and it was kind of separated, but hey, I'm just stoked to even have this and be doing this. So that's pretty cool. Now, hear me out. This essentially is going to connect onto, you know, this piece? This piece look familiar to you? It may not be black on y'all's pieces. It might be like the light gray, or God, I don't even remember its stock color, but this one was painted black because of the Calibarn. I want to say it's probably gray for y'all. So either way, it's a pretty recognizable piece. This is the main body part that holds up the shield because everything connects to it. You have that middle bit, and then the blades themselves go further down, right? So that you're gonna want to put, and I will definitely talk about how that goes on to the motherboard and everything. So I don't have this open just yet because there's no need. Pretty much all we're gonna do, you're gonna see how this works in the step-by-step tutorial. So putting that off to the side, this is how I think it works, okay? I feel that what this cord is right here for the main power bank, right? I think that this is an adapter piece because essentially the backpack's gonna have to go into here, okay? There is, it looks like there is one cable cord that is in here, and it looks like it probably comes with a dual slot, like one slot that goes into this and then one slot that's meant to go over here, all right? That's pretty cool. Now, how I think it works, right? And I'm only 50% sure on this, okay? Is I think that if you have this plugged into an outlet with a safe, nice, secured, ample amount of power device, I think this is here so you can plug one backpack to Calibarn, one backpack to another aerial, and maybe even another one to the aerial rebuild. And maybe if you even bought a fourth Kosmos, dude, bam, fourth Kosmos. Or if you have like maybe a RGB Kosmos launcher, I don't know how many pieces they have, but if you know, it's like one initial motherboard for the launcher and one extending piece, maybe that could go here, you know? So you'd be having a power supply and a power housing for 3 kits and then 1 weapon. So I feel that is how it works. I haven't fully gotten there on the FM aerial, so it's just kind of real trial and error here, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and move on to the last piece of this puzzle. Last piece of the puzzle is going to be these little plastic bands here. Best to just want to wipe these all down because I can even see fingerprints and smudges, and just kind of wipe them down, put them on a clean surface, let them dry. Go ahead and apply the white decals here, like I mentioned, and then essentially you should have yourself a really badass data storm effect. So I'm gonna go ahead and begin the building process on the Calibarn, which here I'll show you in just a moment.